Nation Radio. United we rock.
Excellent. Well, Jordan, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, no problem.
You are the vocalist for Laika.
Yep.
Hailing out of Winnipeg.
Yep.
Now, the interweb tells me that Laika is based on this Russian dog who the Russians put around, I guess, through he was the first to orbit the Earth.
Yeah, I think if I'm getting my facts correct, during the Russian space race between USA and Russia and everyone else that did it, Russia took one of their first shuttles and sent a dog up there to see if it could, sustain life. It sent it to orbit the Earth. Obviously, unfortunately, the dog did not make it. But that was.
Oh, he didn't make it?
No, he didn't make it, unfortunately.
Oh, no, I didn't actually read too far into it. What made you choose that name?
Well, it kind of related to us as people, because we're all different, weird people, and that in itself is like a very strange thing to do. Like let's send a dog to space. So I kind of related it to our personalities in the band.
Okay.
And also our sound. Like our sound is kind of it's not necessarily as cookie cutter as metal is,
Yeah. Now, speaking of that, how I think your at least your press release was describing melodic death metal. Is that what you agree with there?
Yeah, I definitely say it's melodic death metal.
And speaking of the sound, how do you guys typically go about the writing process? Is it a group thing? Is it like a solo kind of thing?
Well, pretty much what happens is our guitarist comes to the table with a bunch of riffs, and then Steve, our keyboardist, he comes together. He's like, okay, well that sounds good if you did this and I did this, and they kind of collaborate together. Sometimes Steve writes 100% of the songs, and sometimes Ian writes 100% of the songs, but there's often songs that it's kind of a hybrid of the two.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
And now, looking at the sort of the history there's 3 years in between your last release. I guess both were entitled Somnia? One the EP and one the full length?
Yeah, the EP Somnia was kind of like, the intention on that one was going to be, that was going to be our full length. But unfortunately, the studio that we recorded at ran into some technical issues.
Ouch.
And we only got 2 songs done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we only had drums for 2 songs. So we were like, all right, well, what are we going to do? And then we were like, you know what? Let's just record those 2 songs to release it. Because we had a tour approaching, and we were like, let's just do it. Let's get it out there, do it. And then we'll come back and revisit Somnia. And unfortunately, it took 3 years to do that, but there it is.
Well, I mean, it turned out awesome. So what's the difference between what happened with the band between then and now? Like, what are the differences, I guess?
Well, we lost one member, and I think on the full length, there's only one guitarist. He does all the work, and I think just the major difference is that we're more mature as songwriters, and we know what sound we wanted on that record, so we really went for it.
Okay.
And I think what also helped is we've been rehearsing those for the past 3 years, so it just got really tight,
Kind of a lot of almost unintentional pre-production in the jam room and whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
Tell me about the artwork. That's one thing that really stood out for me on Somnia.
The artwork was done by a guy based out of the Philippines. Sorry. His name is Uzi Emperado. He does very unique, typically tribal art, almost like skate tech art or gallery or graffiti art.
Yeah.
And I contacted him and I was like, hey, I really like your style. I have a cool idea. And he pretty much encapsulated my idea 100%. Essentially, it's just a guy that it's what Somnia is about. It's essentially a guy that is sick of reality and stuff like that, so he decides to enter a dreamlike state, and where he can create his own reality and be away from the chaos and this chaotic world and stuff like that.
Awesome. And is that the theme throughout?
Yeah, that is the theme throughout. It's kind of like almost like a concept album. The first 4 songs are like, when you're about to sleep and you kind of like your mind's piecing together some imagination and stuff like that. You're not quite asleep, but you're like a pre-sleep.
Yeah.
So like the first 4 songs are like getting to that sleep, and then like the instrumental is finally entering sleep, and then the final songs, that's like where your imagination takes full total control because you're fully sleeping and dreaming now.
Nice. Okay, yeah. I love that state, that pre-sleep state. I seek that. That's a very pleasurable place to be. One thing that really stood out for me in the recording is the bass tone.
Yeah, it's pretty chunky.
It cuts right through.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a bassist, so it caught my ear, but I just wanted to spread some kudos on that one.
It actually, like, it's the same level throughout the whole album, but there's just moments where Mason just really feels a riff, and he's just really hammering on the bass. So when you hear that, that's him playing very, very intense.
Nice, okay. Because honestly, I was wondering, I'm like, okay, well, what made them select these moments to sort of highlight the bass here or there? But you're telling me you didn't highlight it, you just sort of left it flat.
We just left it flat. We left it all the same level, I'm pretty sure. Didn't do too much to raise it up. It was just all in his playing.
Wow, dude. Give him a pat in the back for me next time you see him.
Yeah, we will.
So I saw Manitoba Metal Fest coming up in April.
Yep.
What else do you have on the go for this year?
Well, we got a show on February 9th. It's with Ailstorm. It's like a pirate metal band.
Yeah. Nice.
And then I think that's all we got so far. We're kind of working towards maybe doing a small tour. Not sure how intense it will be, but we're working on something. We just want to write some more songs and prepare at least a little bit of the new album on the road. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, because we've been jamming these songs for the past like 4 years. And we've been touring on these songs, so we kind of want something fresh to give them,
I guess so. I mean, essentially, the packaged listener, the ones who don't get to go to your shows, we've had this only since, say, September 30th is when it was released. But these are old to you guys.
Oh yeah,
I can appreciate the want for new.
There's one song on there that's probably as old as Laika.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh wow. And the band is what, 5 or 6 now?
Yeah, I think we turned 5 this past October.
Nice. And now you were just speaking of touring there. I was checking out YouTube and I watched. I can't remember the name of it, but you had a bit of a snafu with your last tour.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. When we were heading to Vancouver, it was just meant to be like a short kind of tour with a week and a half or maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we had a great show in, I believe it was Edmonton or Calgary, I don't remember exactly. And we went to Prince George and we met up with Into Eternity and we had a fantastic show. And we've never played Prince George and we played to a decent sized crowd. It was really fun. Then we were on to like the highlight of the tour, which was the Vancouver show, because we were going to play with Unleash the Archers, Archspire, and just a couple other really, really good acts.
Nice.
And on halfway there, our transmission blew. And we were kind of forced to take refuge in the only town that was nearby, and it happened to be a reserve town. And there was just a junkyard that we kind of like got towed to.
Uh-huh.
And he let us stay there, but only on one condition, that he would lock the doors, and we're kind of trapped in this junkyard. We had no food, no drink whatsoever, and we made like a bonfire in the junkyard, but like between us, like trying to like figure out like where to next, we heard like cats like screaming in the distance, and like just dogs barking. It was just the sketchiest thing ever. But yeah, we tried going to the next town, renting a vehicle to catch up on the Vancouver show. Didn't happen. Spent probably all day trying to figure out a solution. We ended up towing ourselves to Kamloops, where we were waiting for our transmission to be fixed, and we unfortunately had to cancel the entire tour because it took a week and a half to fix.
Wow. So were you stranded there that entire time, just sort of waiting for stuff before you can go home?
Well, we were stranded a night in the junkyard, and then we were stranded we rented a campsite for like 4 days in Kamloops, and then my friend's mom put us up in Kamloops for the remainder of the time.
Okay, nice.
So it was really nice that she offered and stuff like that, but that was a nightmare.
Well, honestly, man, that sounds like the setup for a horror movie. You know, band goes on tour, van breaks down, you get some help in this kind of sketchy-looking junkyard.
And this junkyard family they didn't help the case, you know. Like, the son had ridiculous strength. Like I've never seen a kid stronger than this guy. Like we moved the trailer into like the junkyard, and we were trying to reposition it in such a way where it's out of the way, you know.
Uh-huh.
And this son comes out. He must be like 16 or 18. He's like, why don't you just lift the trailer? He lifts up the trailer full of our gear, and he I swear to God, he taxis it like across the entire junkyard, snugs it into this corner.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, we have 6 people here, and no one could do that.
That's wicked.
And then while we were in the bonfire, like just enjoying the bonfire and thinking about the next day, we were like kind of kicking the dirt, and I see Mason, and he's kicking a little bit more, and he sees like a machete, and we're like, wow, we're gonna die tonight.
You just kind of unearthed it in the dirt?
Yeah, it was terrifying.
Okay, all right. Who knows what else was lying around there?
Yeah, there was like abandoned cars. It was just the scariest thing.
Well, let's hope the next plan works out a little more smoothly.
Yeah, I'll never forget that town though.
It's a great story to tell.
Yeah.
All right, Jordan. Well, how can my listeners follow up with Laika and stay in touch?
The best way to stay in touch would probably be Facebook. We try our best to update it as much as possible.
Okay.
It's through with Facebook being increasingly hard to get seen every day, apparently. It kind of demotivates us, but we try our best, you know.
Okay.
But Bandcamp, we try and keep that up to date. And even just like adding me on Facebook is almost better than the Laika page, because apparently you see my stats updates more than
the band page.
Yeah.
Wow, weird.
Yeah.
Maybe if the band paid. No, I'm sorry, bad joke. Bad joke.
Well, we did that, and we got a whole bunch of people from I don't know, like weird countries that they didn't know how to speak English, and they're like, we want to send money in the mail. We want to send these weird currency to you, and we're like, okay, what's going on here?
Okay. Well, thanks again for joining me, my friend.
Yeah, no problem.